All right, so here are the examples for section 9.3. Um, it's rotations this time, and there are formulas for these as well, like there were for the reflections, and then kind of like there were for the translation. Translation is the vector and the coordinate, but there's actually a formula for this. So for 90 degrees, and remember this is always counterclockwise, the formula is you take x, y. First thing you do is you swap them, y and x. And then here's the way I think of it. To go counterclockwise, I want to just go kind of like left, but just a little bit. So I swap that guy there. Okay. So I have F, G, H, and I. F is at 7, 7. G is at 9, comma 2. H is at 3, comma 2. I is at 5, comma 7. So F prime, G prime, H prime, I prime. Again, the first thing I always do is I just swap the orders. So this will become 7, 7, 2, 9, 2, 3, 7, 5. And then I switch the sign of all the new x's or what were the old y's. So that's negative now. Positive now it's negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So in fact, all of these just went negative. So not very exciting as far as anything, or not very interesting. It was all basically just switched. So F is at 7, 7. So this is 7, 7. G is at 9, 2. H is at 3, 2. And I is at 5, 7. Okay, so here is kind of roughly what we have. So F, G, H, I. Now this guy's going to get turned 90 degrees counterclockwise. So F is now at negative 7, 7. F prime. G is at negative 2, 9. G prime. H is at negative 2, 3. And I is at negative 7, 5. Okay. Now the way this works is any point that I've created, if I connect to the origin with it, because this is about the origin. So let's say I pick H and go from the original point to the new point, and you got to take it for a grain of salt because I just did this sloppy and quick. I get a right angle that goes counterclockwise. So that's how it rotated. Okay, next example. 180 degrees rotation. 180 degrees rotation is probably the easiest formula of all of them, even in all the sections. XY becomes negative X, negative Y. You don't switch them, you just change the signs. So we have A, B, C. A is at negative 3, 5. B is at 0, 2. C is at negative 5, 1. So A prime is at negative or positive 3, negative 5 now. B prime is at 0, negative 2. C prime is at 5, negative 1. Okay. So we'll just plot those up. So ABC, negative 3, 5. B is at 0, 2. C is at negative 5, 1. A, B, C. Then 180 degrees is 3, negative 5 for A, 0, negative 2 for B, and 5, negative 1 for C. And this one's nice, easy, because it basically just try to connect any of the points, like A to A. Look, it goes through A to A prime, goes to the origin, and it's just down a straight line. And they're all going to do that because I went 180 degrees counterclockwise. Okay. All right, and then the last example type is a 270 degree angle. And this looks just like the 90 degree one. Okay, we start off doing the same thing. You swap X and Y. But now, to like go from here, all like if I look at this kind of roughly, I have a point up here. I'm going to go 270 degrees this way. Really what it looks like I did is I just went down. So that's why I switched the sign of the new y. Okay. So PQRS. P, Q, R, and S. P is at 4, 7. Q is at 6, 6. R is at 3, negative 2. And S is at 1, negative 1. So P becomes then 7, 4, 6, 6, negative 2, 3, negative 1, 1. And now what we'll do is we'll switch the sign of all the new y's, which are the old x's. So those are negative, negative. Actually, they all become negative then. Wow. So let's take PQRS. So P is at 4, 7. Q is at 6, 6. R is at 3, negative 2. And S is at 1, negative 1. So not a whole lot of excitement going on there with that guy. P, Q, R, S. Okay. Okay. And then we have P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime. So 7, negative 4. 6, negative 6. Negative 2, negative 3. And negative 1, negative 1. P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime. And again, if you choose to go from one of these to the origin, like the easy one to be the Q's, because they're at nice corners. Here's your right angle. And you might say, well, it's 90 degrees, but that's 90 degrees clockwise. I have to go all the way around the other direction. 90 degrees counterclockwise. And there we go. That's section 9.3.